Charisma Southerland, 2024 President of Canopy Realtor Association and Canopy MLS, is back again for another special edition of Inside the Canopy Files, recorded live from the 2024 Canopy Realtors EXPO. Listen in as Charisma has a conversation with Juanita McDowell, national speaker, tech enthusiast, consultant, marketing guru, and CEO of InMotion Consulting. Juanita delivered a fantastic Expo education speaker session and spoke with Charisma on this podcast about using short-form video content to generate real lead generation.
Hi, I'm Charisma Southerland, and I am back with another interview from the 2024 Expo. I have the pleasure of talking with motivational speaker, consultant, and marketing strategist Juanita McDowell. Short video content is dominating the social media scene, making it crucial for realtors to embrace and focus on crafting bite-sized videos to enhance their online presence. Today, we add more tools to your toolbox via the power of video. Specifically, we will dive into marketing using video shorts, lead generation, and how to create short video strategies. Thank you, Juanita, for being here with me on Inside the Canopy Files podcast today. Before we jump into our Q&A, I need to tell our audience a bit more about you. So, Juanita, you're a former electrical engineer and Georgia Tech graduate with a wealth of experience from General Motors and AT&T, where you led teams in engineering, operations, and sales. Today, you leverage these experiences to inspire thousands, delivering keynotes on technology, achievement, and mindset across the globe. Juanita volunteers with 21st Century Leaders as a nonprofit that prepares high schoolers for leadership, and she reserves time for her passion project, the Samaritan's Food Bank and Clothes Closet. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
First, I see that you are a former electrical engineer with years of experience in tech business. How did you make the leap from that position to where you are now?
That's a good question. I actually loved corporate America when I was without kids, but then when I had kids, I just couldn't figure it out. I'm not saying it can't be done, but for me, I couldn't figure it out. So by the time baby number 3 came, I decided, okay, let me just go ahead and raise some babies. So I did that for about 7 years, and I came back as a mortgage originator. And that was my entrance into the real estate world because I was married to agents. We were trying to get deals done. And then it became apparent to me, wait, this tech stuff is kind of giving them, it's like the iPhone 1 was coming out, the iPad 1 was coming out. And I was like, I can help them with this. And so that was kind of how I got into offices. I called brokers and say, hey, I'd like to do a little tech class for your agents. And they'd say, are you bringing breakfast? And I said, I guess I am. And that's how I actually built up my origination business. So, it's always funny how you don't start out with one thing and you end up, as something else. And that's what happened with me.
Well, that's an amazing story. And they will want you to bring breakfast in. So that is a true statement. Okay, so now we can get into the marketing aspect of this. We all can't be social media influencers. But everywhere you look, people are using video content, especially in social media. I know a picture is worth 1,000 words, but you do not need to be savvy to be in front of the camera. That's very daunting. Why video? Why is that so compelling to do videos?
Because video gives you a chance to build trust and rapport before someone meets you directly. It is that one opportunity where people hear your voice, they see your face, and that takes it to a whole nother level. So before I meet you, before we talk on the phone, I already almost feel like I know you because I've seen your reels, I've watched you, I've listened to you. It's clear you know this business, this industry. And so that's like the draw, that's the attraction. So it's really, one of those things that I like for people to understand. Video is so crucial because it gives that human connection, and that's what it's all about.
once I became president of Canopy, it's taking me some time to get used to the camera. How does one become comfortable with being in front of the camera, especially if you are not used to being in front of it?
This is going to sound strange, but I tell people to pretend like they're about to be in front of the camera, but don't record. You've got to get the practice, and you want to see yourself back. The first time you record and you see yourself, you're not going to like it. Most people don't like it, but do it a couple of times, practice, and just get a little comfortable, but not with the intention to upload. So now the weight is off your shoulders. It's like, oh wow, I'm just doing this to get practice, but maybe this next take is something that I like. And that it ends up being where you practice a while, and then finally you go, okay, wait a minute, this isn't so bad. I can upload this. But I always tell people, you got to get that comfort level.
Great. With so much video content on social media now, how does an agent break through and create a strategy that works and creates the following? How do you really, as an agent, get started?
Well, there's a lot of content online, but it's not all quality. I mean, I have seen a lot of stuff because people think it's all about, oh, let's just take out my phone and start recording. But if you really want to make your mark, and not a lot of people are doing this, you really need to plan it out, and you need to make sure that what you're offering your target audience is something valuable, something they can use, and something they'll want to share. And when you really have that in mind, that's the key. But a lot of people say, I don't want a target market because I want anybody that wants to buy a house. Okay, that works offline, but online, content needs to be created for a target audience because that's the way you know that what that audience needs. And so I always tell people, if you're just now getting started, tell me now, who do you want to attract to your business? Because if it's not really and truly, you need to know that. You need to have that in your mind. And then you need to create content for that. What are their pain points? Create content for their pain points. And I also tell realtors, step outside of your role and just be a consumer for a second. What do you need to know? That's what the person buying a house needs to know.
So should agents choose one particular social media channel and stick to it, or should we be promoting content on all channels?
Well, I think if you're beginning, if you're starting out, I like you to choose one spoke on that wheel. If you have 5 plants right now and only 1 bottle of water, you get a little bit, you get a little bit, start with one and learn it, really learn it inside out, and pick which one matches your target audience. And that's why I'm always about which platform matches your target audience, and then go to the next one. So I'm not telling you to stay with one, but until you have mastery over one, don't try to go to 2, 3, and 4 because you want engagement. When I first started YouTube, I was creating videos, cranking them out, but I was also trying to learn Facebook and Twitter and all that. I was getting comments on my YouTube videos and didn't even know it because I wasn't going back to even check the comments and respond.
Wow.
I mean, I was so embarrassed by that. If I had just stuck with YouTube, I would have been all over that to respond to comments instead of waiting weeks later and then, oh, thanks for your comment, or, oh, let me answer your question. But it's because I was spread too thin. Okay. So I always say, if you're a beginner, start with one, learn it inside out, and then hop to another one and another one. Okay. And that's the best way to go about it.
So what are the pros and cons, let's say, versus YouTube, versus Facebook, versus Instagram?
Everybody has pros and cons, but I will say the best thing for a marketer is to decide where is their audience hanging out. Because if I'm right now looking for Gen Z, I don't need to be on Facebook. They're not there. They left the building. Right. When their grandparents got on, they said, this is creepy, I'm not getting on this platform. So if you then say, okay, well, I know I want to go after Gen Z, well, you need to do TikTok and Instagram. That's kind of where they are. And the key is knowing what they are looking for on that channel. Again, each channel has its pros for that audience. But I will tell you, what we're doing is creating content that an audience can use. If we really know that audience, then we understand that. So if you take me, we purchased a couple of homes. Right now, I want to know, is there a way to buy down, and not spend more money? Because all of my friends they're moving down to a smaller house, but they all have higher mortgage payments. So if you're just trying to go, well, let me figure it out, that's a big issue for a lot of people. And Juanita's somebody, I want some move down buyers, but I've got to help them solve this problem. You've got to really know that audience and know what they need. And truly, it's about creating content where they live. I'm a LinkedIn girl. So if you're trying to create content for me, my husband's an engineer, LinkedIn is where you're going to find us. He doesn't even know what TikTok is, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he does, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. So if you know who and who you're trying to attract to your business, you know which platform is going to serve you better. And then you got to get into it. If I were a realtor right now on LinkedIn, I wouldn't just build a profile page. You can build pages on LinkedIn, business pages. You need a business page. I would join a group that's related to something that I know a lot about so I can be a contributor. I wouldn't just, I might even take out ads. I might even use LinkedIn Navigator because I know certain occupations that I've helped in the past that I can help now, or maybe I'm a veteran. It's just really getting into who do I serve, and even if you pick a platform, you can find out where they are.
So let me ask you a question. You talked about different generations. Would you say that YouTube crosses all generations?
Yes.
Okay.
Diverse audience. That's the most diverse audience you're going to have is YouTube. And I really wish realtors would take advantage of that because that's green content. You do a reel on Instagram, 2 weeks later it's not relevant. You create a YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? 10 years from now, you're doing a tour of Charlotte. Charlotte probably hasn't changed that much. I'm still watching your video.
Okay. That's some good advice. Let's go into some best practices. Most agents have a photographer and a videographer to shoot listings. But beyond that, what kinds of content what should we be talking about? And how long should those videos be?
Okay, so let's just break it up. There's lots of categories, potential categories for realtors. So let's start with the thought. People believe what other people say about you more than they believe what you say about you. Okay, that being said, I want to see some client testimonials of people that are happy with you, and those are quick and easy to get. You can use any platform for that, but really and truly, I want to see that as a category. In addition to that, if you are proud of your community and you love it, it's yours, then I want to see some community videos, community reels. Show me that barbecue restaurant owned in the family for 150 years. Show me where I want to go shop, and just give me a sense for what it's all about. My husband and I were setting up shop in California, Maryland, which no one has heard of. And there was one video online of a realtor doing a tour of California, Maryland. So guess who we reached out to? He was passionate about it. He was telling us, here's some areas and this is what's going on in these areas. I was like, oh man, he knows his stuff. My husband's like, okay, give him a call. What if he wasn't there? We just got to think like that. So if you are saying, I want to be a real estate expert, you know about the market, you know things that you're passionate, look guys, don't wait, because a consumer will say, well, I'm going to wait till interest rates go down. Okay, we heard Lawrence Young today. Your net worth is higher when you own a house. You don't want to delay. You got to be able to fight and speak for, a case that says, let's buy now. So you want to be the real estate expert? Quote Lawrence Young. Make sure that you're understanding how the market is trending. I want to know, about, the values of properties. What are they doing right now in my neighborhood? Are they going up? Are they going down? So when you're the real estate expert, you become the go-to. And then I start sharing your content with my other friends that are like me, which is what you want, because you're trying to get me, and I'm going to be sharing, you tell me right now, I'm moving to California, Maryland. I got a guy. You guys see what I'm saying?
Do you think, should agents start out being scripted or, scripted and be informal, or should they be casual?
That's a great question. I think that you should know what you're planning to say. I think it's nothing wrong with writing it out. In fact, I would encourage you to write it out, but I don't want you to read it like, oh, I've memorized it. It doesn't sound natural. So that's why today I gave everybody a caveat. If you use a teleprompter, here's the caveat. You need to practice using a teleprompter. It's not as easy as it seems. We used to see the presidents reading off teleprompters. They've rehearsed it, they've practiced reading a teleprompter. But I want you to be professional because it's representing your brand. So know what you're going to say. What I would tell people to do is just do bullet points. Get the bullet points in your head, so then you're going to flow. You know what your first bullet, the second bullet, the third bullet is, and you know your stuff. So now you can speak to me naturally. I want a natural speaking voice on those whatever 3 points or whatever you're trying to share. But no, that is a good point. I really want people to look good. Because that's a reason that, Charisma, that's a reason that people don't do it, is because they're afraid of how they're going to look. And if they don't look professional, then they're going to think, oh my gosh, no, I will not upload this video.
Should we be hiring videographers and letting them assist us in developing a plan, or can we just do this plan on our own?
You absolutely can do it on your own. Not everybody has the money to hire a full-time videographer for social media. You have a $1,000 camera in your pocket. It works really well. You can get additional lenses for it. You can get additional, and I shared different audio mics for it. So the key here is knowing, I'm not going to say you have to take a class, but you can watch several YouTube videos with people that are showing you how to get the good lighting, the good sound, good orientation. It just means there's going to be a little effort. But no, you can do this on your own, and that's why so many people do. Because imagine how many times you'd have to hire that videographer.
And they're expensive.
And it would be expensive. But I will tell people if that's what's stopping you, then create content where you're going to do multiple videos and hire a videographer for a couple of hours to shoot them all. Like batch create.
Well, I don't want to give away all the secrets, but just to wrap up our discussion, what are the key takeaways you like to leave agents with as we explore creating marketing videos and our strategies?
I want consistency. It just doesn't work if you're going to show up every couple of weeks, every couple of months, and you can say, well, I'll do social media, but if you're not consistent, I want you to determine what are going to be good days for you, and I want you to make sure in that, 52 weeks we have in the year, that you're consistently, look, even if it's one day a week, I'll take that over 0. So consistency and understanding that when you see people that are in this space and they're doing it, they didn't start out doing it and looking like they did. Everybody had to start somewhere. So with dedication and just a few, disciplines a day, you're going to be able to do this eventually if you want it. And I hope you do.
I do. I definitely do.
That's what I want to hear.
I do. You did an excellent presentation today. And
Thank
before
you.
we wrap up, I want to say this. Realtors love community service. Our own Canopy Housing Foundation is committed to improving our community here in the Charlotte region. Tell the audience just a little bit about 21st Century Leaders and your passion project. Is it the Fayette
Samaritans. Oh my gosh, you just lit me up again. So I enjoy good meals every single day. And most people do, but there are a lot of people that don't, or they get down on their luck and they just, unfortunate, they just can't keep it all together. So Fayette Samaritans, we give out 3 food boxes, and depending on if the size of the family, we throw in more stuff, but chicken and milk and some, just some good things that they need. And so I grocery shop. Friday is my day to volunteer. So I go grocery shopping for what I know we're low in the pantry. And then I help with boxing, and I help take it out to people's cars, and it's just a good feeling to just help people in a time. It's interesting, Carissa, they don't want to make eye contact, but I wish they would, just so I can say to them, I have had hard times in my life. We all do, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. So yeah, I feed the hungry, and in my own community. I used to go downtown, which is like 45 minutes away. I was like, wait a minute, there are people in my own community that need help and need support. So I started volunteering there, and it's in the clothes closet. So we're always needing coats, but clothes, shoes, people want to have interviews, they need nice clothes. So it's just it's a good little fellowship. All of us have the same desire to just make sure if people are down on their luck, they have something. So yeah, thank you for asking about that.
I
am very passionate about that.
I love a servant's heart. I love a servant's heart.
I love that.
So, that's all the time we have today, Juanita. Thanks so much for being here with me and sharing this information. I can't wait to put some of these strategies to good use in my videos. You are such an inspirational story, and we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about the power of video. Thank you also for all the powerful work that you are doing and touching our community. And we want to thank our audience today for listening. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you so much.
listening to Inside the Canopy Files, a production of Canopy Realtor Association. Canopy Realtor Association is a trade association that provides more than 16,000 realtor members with the resources and services they need to conduct ethical, professional, successful, and profitable businesses. The association is dedicated to being the region's primary resource for the residential real estate information, and it owns and operates Canopy MLS, which has more than 20,000 subscribers and is the private cooperative realtors use for access to tens of thousands of residential listings in a 24-county service area, including Charlotte, the mountains area of North Carolina, South Carolina, and beyond. And we want to hear from you. Please visit us at canopyrealtors.com and connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Canopy Realtor, and listen to our podcast on your favorite platform. And hey, give us a 5-star rating. Send us your feedback and comments to president@canopyrealtors.com. Thanks again for listening to Inside the Canopy Files. We'll see you next time. Inside the Canopy Files is produced by Canopy's Marketing and Communications Department and Andy Go of Gojo Studios.